I don't want to be, don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to out of you when I see you.
After, again, I didn't hear that, you know, that
call was
conversation,
right?
But it's kind of like, damn, shit. Like, I don't know.
Perfect. The Shannon Sharpe case that had gone down, bro. What in the world was going on with Unc, bro? What in the world is going on with Unc? Shannon Sharpe was accused of sexual assault, even though it was a consensual relationship. Right. This was someone that he knew, and I believe for about 2 years, they had a consensual relationship. There were times when he was frequently aggressive, and like I said, sexual assault was an accusation that has been brought up. Now, this was at first a Jane Doe. This woman was supposedly a 19-year-old woman that Shannon Sharpe had met. I believe he's a 56-year-old man. So at the time, he would have been about 53. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll start there. Because a lot of people like to do that. We just seen the whole Drake Kendrick thing with you heard you like him young. With the Shannon Sharpe situation, I'm not going to age shame. Because I don't like when people do this convenient forgetting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's been something that we've seen in culture. Not to say it's right or wrong, but Shannon Sharpe's not the first older man that dated a younger woman. We watched Hugh Hefner, who, at the time when he was alive, now Hugh Hefner's legacy is a little different, but at the time when he was alive, they was giving him a lot of props for being who he was. So, you know what I'm saying? We've seen it with NBA owners. Donald Sterling comes to mind. We've seen it with actors, Leonardo DiCaprio, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're not going to do this thing where we're going to like, all right, now that it's a black celebrity or now that it's somebody that we could try to pile on with, do the age shaming. But I will say that is a significant age gap. Now, where it becomes weird for me with the dating thing with like that, because I think Shannon has kids. Mm-hmm. So it's like, depending on how close this girl's age is to like your oldest kid's age,
probably the same age.
That's where it becomes a little weird. I'm not trying to pass judgment here. We just reporting the news, but that's where it's like, all right, Shannon, you in a shaky situation right now. Something else I realized, and in terms of the age thing, something that went viral since Shannon got himself in trouble. I'm playing it real quick. It was the Shannon Sharpe Monique clip, where Monique was talking to him when she was on Club Shay Shay.
26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
He wrote in the comments, you know, she tried to give him game and he just sat there giggling, you know what I mean? but to that point, you know what I'm saying? It was a moment. There's a lot of stuff that's been brought back up. I think Shannon Sharpe had Donnell Rollins on the show, and he tried to crack on Donnell Rollins' age gap with his baby moms. As if he wasn't doing the same thing. And please believe Donnell Rollins' baby moms took this opportunity to point out the hypocrisy that she had seen. But with that all being said, you already in rocky territory. You know what I mean? In terms of the age gap thing. I'm not, once again, not going to pass judgment on it. Now, what I will pass judgment on is this image that Shannon Sharpe puts out there. And I'm going to talk more about, what he's been accused of in the case. But before we even get into all that, there's an image that Shannon Sharpe put out. And I'll think of two incidents in the past year or two that have came up. One was when Shannon Sharpe was on Nightcap with Ocho, and they were talking about Jess Hilarious. And she had been just introduced to the new member of the Breakfast Club. And he obviously is attracted to her. And he was talking about it in like a way that dudes talk. Mm-hmm. It was what Donald Trump would call locker room talk. Okay. And just how he described it. And I never looked at it from the other side. But then I guess when Jess had got on air, I don't know if they gave him donkey or if they were just talking about it in the rumors. But it was something that she didn't feel comfortable. She was like, it made her feel uncomfortable. It was like, and I think she's friends with Ocho. And if you actually listen to the clip, Ocho don't really engage, which is something I think he does a lot when Shannon goes off the deep end sometimes, is he'll talk about himself.
Right.
But not in a way that's going to like incriminate. Whereas I think Shannon will more so pass judgment on other people or think he's complimenting somebody, but they actually might get offended by the compliment, so to speak. And then it's kind of this like horny old man image, and for lack of a better term, of what I think he's trying to put out. Like, yo, I'm an old dude, but I still get it in. The second incident would be the leak.
Sex tape.
It wasn't a sex tape. It was an Instagram live. I think he claimed he didn't know it went live, and then people heard the audio. Right? Yeah. He was saying about either giving head or getting whatever. But it was that was weird too, because that felt on purpose. Like, I know you don't really bang with social media that hard. It ain't easy to go live by mistake.
Okay.
It's a lot of like, they put safeguards in place so that don't happen. 2, you was also fighting a lot of rumors, Shannon Sharpe, that is, of like people wanting to call you gay. Now, whether they really think you gay or they know that's just something that they could pile on and offend you with, that was what people were putting out there. So it kind of came across as like, I ain't gay. Watch how not gay I am.
Why were they trying to call? Why were they trying to call him gay? What did he do?
He has mannerisms that are kind of like feminine. Like sometimes some people, and I don't subscribe to this, but sometimes some people raised by their moms or they raised by females, and sometimes they'll have female mannerisms. Right. They're not gay, but they probably been hanging around. Carl Anthony Towns comes to mind. I've seen a clip of people just taking clips of him. Right. And it's not, he's not gay, he's with Jordan Woods, but some of the times his reactions to certain things come across as like, oh, we can make fun of that. And that's what the internet wants to do in the case of Shannon Sharpe. Why people don't like Shannon Sharpe, and I'm seeing now with this drama that a lot of people don't like Shannon Sharpe, I don't know. He rubs people the wrong way for some reason. Maybe his success, maybe the fact that he's entering a new field and taking over, and probably every place he goes, he's dominated, from athletics to television to now, in the podcasting realm. I don't know. Maybe he just comes across funny and I don't know. I don't know the guy. But for some reason, people do like to make fun of him. So whether it's like, oh, we're going to try to call him gay, we're going to say he looks like, I think Miss Netta was something that was people was saying, which is like a internet celebrity, but it's a woman. You don't like that. You probably don't, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm going to show y'all how manly I am. I'm knocking young boys down. Matter of fact, this recent clip happened, him and Funny Marco getting into it on I don't know if it's Nightcap or Club Shay Shay, and Funny Marco brings up what people say, you look like Miss Netta, and he's like, well, you look like Miss Netta, and they going back and forth, and then you can tell Shannon getting a little like, all right, I might look like this, but he's like, the young girls, and this is a quote, the young girls are still busting it open for me. And I'm like, that sounds crazy as a quote, just as a standalone quote. Right, you know what I mean? And then 2 weeks later, for what happened for this lawsuit to come to light, what I say all that to say, you putting a lot out there that people could make into something and turn into something. You know what I mean? I listened to real quick story. I listened to a podcast. I don't listen to it as much now, but a couple years ago, heavy. I was listening to something called the Secret of Success podcast. It's E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, and it's like 4 brothers. They all married. They all like doing well in their fields in terms of financially. And it was like one of the first times I saw actual black men like big up being married, not making it seem like the ball and chain or whatever. They was like bigging their wives up. They want their wives to be around when they tour in the world. When they're motivational speakers, and they're really successful in what they do. But one of the quotes, I think, when E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, who's the main motivational speaker, the successful one, his like number, I guess you call him like your point man, your one man is one of the things that he told him, because there's an age gap between them. E.T.'s a little bit older, and he was like, all right, you young, we on the road, we going places. One thing you got to be in control of is your sexual urges. And he was like, he's like, there's a lot of things. Like, you should be a good leader. You should probably, handle yourself with integrity. But he's like, the one way that they take powerful or well-to-do, especially black men, down is they attack their sexual urges. They like, oh, with Martin Luther King, they try to do it. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll be like, oh, you're chasing after white women, or you're doing this or that. And he was like, if you don't succumb to that, if you know what I mean, could be faithful to your wife, you're not engaging in all these other things, you'll stay out of a lot of trouble. And it was one of the first times I heard that, and I think it's something that I think needs to be pushed a lot more in our community. Because I feel like if Shannon Sharpe, I heard that maybe in his playing days, or even in his later years, he wouldn't want to put out this image of being the horny old man. And now it's all come back to bite him. And I don't say that to make fun of him, because Louis Farrakhan said, when people fall, don't laugh, learn. Mm-hmm. No, I don't want to make fun of Shannon Sharpe, but for me, it was like, oh, the light bulb. This is what E.T. was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are successful, you on ESPN. You have Club Shay Shay, which and under that are a bunch of podcasts under that umbrella. You doing really good for yourself. You don't gotta even put all that out there, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like the leaked Instagram live should have been like, yo, you know what I mean? You're on a Disney Channel. I even seen it differently with the way Stephen A. Smith spoke about Jay-Z's situation compared to Shannon Sharpe's situation. Like, he literally, I don't know how cool Jay-Z and Stephen A. are, but he literally was like, I know Jay-Z ain't do this. Shannon Sharpe was kind of on some, I wish you the best. We're going to let this play itself out.
A friend of mine who is Jay-Z. And I'm saying for me, Stephen A. Smith, there is no way in hell I believe this about him. Important to point out a couple of things. Number one, I was not there. I can provide no eyewitness account. I sincerely wish him the best. I got love for him.
But you know what? Because he's in a room with Shannon. He probably hears some of the conversations. He probably, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but it don't seem that crazy. Because a lot of people too, and I'll let you get your opinion on it, probably don't even know, like probably don't even understand why he's in trouble or could even be sued. And it's like, if it was a consensual relationship, if they supposedly engaged in role play, if they like BDSM, could she turn around and accuse him of something? It's like, yeah, because rules exist in even those worlds. Right. And you can't, it's not just like, yo, let your carnal desires take over. Like, there are still safe words. There are still places that, you know, is this cool with you? Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I think a lot of people don't fully get that you could get caught up in that. Like I said, it's been described as a consensual relationship. Like I said, the young lady was younger than Shannon Sharpe. And I guess the third thing would be is like, you just handled it wrong, Shannon, in terms of the way you responded to it. Now, I think he was very inspired by Jay-Z. He saw Tony Busby was having a lot of L's. Right. Like, even Diddy was getting wins over Tony Busby. Like, yo, you can't practice law in New York. You can't, you know what I mean? This Jane Doe looking crazy, you know what I mean? Because they just proving her story wrong left and right. So Tony Busby was catching L's, and I thought he was like, I think he think if I come out aggressively, if I like attack this, kind of the way Jay-Z did, this will just go away. If I act scared, if I act like, you know what I mean, that nothing's gonna happen, I think people might start believing it. So let me come aggressively. And one thing I thought he did that was kind of funny, he revealed Shorty's name. Like, she was a Jane Doe. You ain't have to tell us that she did OnlyFans. You ain't have to tell her name is Gabby. You know what I'm saying? Like, the internet, you know what you're going to do by putting them little breadcrumbs out. Everybody going to go find it. Now, I'm sure her OnlyFans numbers went up. I'm sure she's not hurting in that type of way. But that was like, it's almost like you kind of slut shame, so to speak. Like, you know what she does for a living, this girl accusing me? Y'all gonna believe that? And I was like, that was a misstep. Your lawyer in a press conference states several times in a conversation that y'all try to settle. And he keeps using the term tens of millions, to the point where the reporter's like, is it tens of millions or is it 10 million? Right. And he's like, it's at least 10 million. That sounds sus. That sounds crazy. You about to give her 10 million for some chick that was sending you text messages talking about 250,000 a cheek? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, it's not looking great. And the way y'all handling this is just getting nervous. And then things are being revealed, like text messages. The most damning one comes from her. But I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my, and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon. I don't know how to process this. I still heard talking, and then he responds, "Can I call you later?" Which is, you know what I mean? That's not great. You know what I mean? Shannon Sharpe came out with a statement.
Family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly, on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
Tony Busby targets black men. He's one after Jay-Z. Now, like, that was weird because Shannon, you talk mad passionately on your podcast and your First Take show. That looked like a red statement. You look like you were reading off a teleprompter. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that you can't, the two things could, you know what I mean, necessarily point to guilt, but it's like, it's hard for me to see you talk passionately when you're talking about cheeks. You talking with a whole nother vigor than how you just made that statement right there, which felt like a red statement. But I want to get your opinion. My fault. I didn't even like really get to see where your head is at in terms of all this. But when you, at this point, when you saw the text coming out, you saw Gabby's name being revealed, you saw how Shannon Sharpe responded to it. Like, what were you thinking at that point in time? Or how were you taking this in?
I mean, well, one, I do think it's a shakedown of some sort. Mm-hmm. You know, that's first and foremost, because from my understanding, originally she was only asking for, you know, a couple 100,000 or 50,000 or something, a small number. Mm-hmm. And he turned around and offered the 10, which I don't know why he would do that. But
or why she turned it down.
She turned it down.
Which maybe she knew she had.
That doesn't make sense to me, which tells me in some way, shape, or form, it is a shakedown. So, you know, I'm with Shannon on that side of things. I'm not into age shame. Oh, go ahead.
But by shakedown, though, because there's a negative connotation to the term shakedown.
Shakedown.
It doesn't mean nothing happened.
No, it doesn't mean anything.
It just
happened.
means now because I'm upset with you, I'm gonna get what I can get out of you. I'm assuming that's. I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, because again, originally it was a small amount. Mm-hmm. Now, you know, whether it's because I heard of your potential contract coming down the pipeline, now I'm trying to get even more.
Because a shakedown to me, and I guess where my difference is like a third party. I see you do something to somebody else. You don't know I seen it. I'm waiting. I'm in the bushes. I'm waiting. I got it on tape and everything. I wait till the time when it's opportune for you. You're like, yo, I got this tape of you doing da-da-da-da-da. I'm not involved in it in any type of way. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to make sure I get a payday off of it. That's what I would kind of put a shakedown as. The only reason I look at it differently, and I'm not saying that it's not a shakedown, was that I think, because she was a party involved with it. Mm-hmm. I think it went left. It was a relationship like, oh, we cool. Yeah, that happened. You know, water under the bridge until it wasn't.
Yeah, I use the term shakedown because now Bigsby is involved. Mm-hmm. Like he, in my opinion, is
shakedown king.
And so it just, you know, from that standpoint, you know, I'm with Shannon. It appears, you know, they had an actual relationship of some sort. Now, like I was saying, I'm not into age shaming. Mm-hmm. Every situation is different. As it pertains to this specific one, I personally don't understand what, you know, a 56-year-old man has to do with a teenager. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, if you have teen in the number of you're a fucking teenager. And so for me, that piece by itself, I can't really wrap my head around. Mm-hmm. Because y'all have literally nothing in common. I don't even know how you're attracted towards that, but to each his own. She is legal according to the law, so that's all that really matters in that sense.
And in the adult industry, that's like what's the word I want to use? Put on a pedestal, so to speak, or it's not weird. There's a genre for that.
There is a genre.
Yeah. So,
and culturally, I mean, it's existed. I mean, it's not like we've never heard of, like you said. And one thing, I've never looked at it from the perspective of, okay, this is a black man doing this. What if it was a white man doing this? How would it be perceived and stuff like that? I thought that was an interesting point. Because when you brought up Hugh, I mean, Hugh did stuff like this. And obviously it was back during the time where, again, in my opinion, culture didn't see that age gap as big of a deal as I think we see it today. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it wasn't that big of a problem when Hugh was doing it versus if he's in the Me Too era trying to do that. I'm curious how the world would react to it in today's day and age.
Yeah.
But, you know,
he'd be accused of something before he even did something.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't like the situation that Shannon has placed himself in. Mm-hmm. I do think it's a shakedown. But yeah, I mean, it's just a messy situation all the way around.
Another thing, it sounds as if there was an incident, at least, because of the text messages, where I think guys got to remember, I don't care if this chick was getting crazy in the club or was texting you the craziest things. The second she say it, it's like, it's not fair. Yeah, I got to explain to my 10-year-old that life's not fair. But you put yourself in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? Now, where I will agree with you on a shakedown. Now, maybe after that, maybe once she was already scoring, I heard whispers of after that Instagram live came out, she was still messing with him, and that wasn't her.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask if that was okay.
And so she might have felt a little like, yo, what's we supposed to be together? Maybe that's where things went left. Whatever the case may be, you put yourself in a situation, though, where, like I said, it don't matter if the joint's getting crazy. It don't matter. You've given enough people to have doubt. Now, what they did to him is actually, like, a little crazy. And not that I feel bad for him, and not that I'm saying that anybody lied. But, like, it's like, yo, bro, we got enough on you to make your job not want you to be there. It's not, and you didn't do nothing wrong. This is consensual, but what people sign in a lot of these contracts are moral clauses. And what a moral clause of people is not that you have to necessarily behave, but you have to know that now the results of your actions, whether it was legal or not illegal, if it's something that's frowned upon, right, now it's like, well, you should have been around better people. You should have operated with different girls. Maybe Shannon was attracted to the fact of what this girl did for a living. That maybe that was a bragging thing for him. Maybe he was like, oh, she's down. I don't know. That's why I think everyone that has a head scratch. It's like, bro, you could get you don't have to go for that. You went for the lowest hanging fruit. You went for the one that's going to be the easiest to, well, from the outside looking in, easiest to manipulate, easiest to control because of her age and her experience in life. There's a physical difference between you and this person. With that would be there alone. You, Shannon Sharpe, and the funny thing about it is you're fully aware of the perception of a black man in America. You were on your podcast, Club Shay Shay, with Andrew Schultz, and made a statement like, I don't even get on an elevator with a single woman because I don't want it to be no doors were closed, nobody seen anything, and now she could just say anything.
That's what he said?
Shannon Sharpe said that out of his own mouth. I don't believe him. Right. I think he gets on the elevator with women. But to make that statement would show like, oh, I go the extra mile to not get caught up in nothing like that. I'm aware of how things look. I'm big man, little white woman. I'm not gonna do. And I don't even know if he threw the race thing in there, but little woman, you know what I mean, so to speak. I just know optically, you know what I mean, how that could be bad. So you're aware of that. Handle that in the way you operate yourself. Nobody. And the funny thing is, like, nobody's not even saying don't do this, but you you saw out of pocket that you would text crazy things as opposed to say it. Say it on the phone, like, you know what I'm saying. Like she record that. I mean, I think that's illegal. She can't like record your phone conversation.
Well, depending on what state y'all in.
Oh yeah, true, yeah. Which because now that I think about it, she does have a recorded conversation. They leaked this. This was crazy.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you.
You better say that's AI or something.
Okay. Well,
the hell was something?
They say something else.
I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Yeah, Shannon, it ain't great, bro.
I haven't even heard that. So.
And that's what they, you know what I mean? And they, like I said, they got a sex tape. They claim they have that he put out there that he told us that the public about, not their side. Shorty's been quiet. I haven't heard any statements from her. You know what I'm saying? And like everything about Shannon has just been moving crazy. I don't know, like Shannon, you should have known better, bro. You should have figured this out way before it got to the public. You should have you shouldn't even be moving like this. It's just a silly way to be moving. Like, and then this was the craziest part. Finally, like, it was going back and forth. Was he going to be on ESPN? Was he going to be let off? And like, he releases a statement that's obviously a text message that somebody sent to him of what to say. And like, he's like, no, I'm just going to take a screenshot and post this as opposed to like just putting it out on his own stationery or whatever the case. Well, my statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. At this juncture, I'm electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues. Shannon Sharpe. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him.
Yeah, I mean, I have to, again, I didn't hear that, that
call was
conversation,
wild, right?
But it's kind of like, damn, shit. Like, I don't know. I don't know
there's
if
enough,
coming back
put
from
it like this. I don't think, and the sad part about it, I really don't think he necessarily did what he's being accused of, but there's enough smoke. Because I can't prove if he there was a time when she said no and he kept going. But the evidence,
I believe it though.
But the evidence with this, that's what I was trying to say. I don't want to like put a judgment. You in this country, you're supposed to be innocent until the burden of proof is put on the other side to prove that you did something. So if we're gonna go into that statement, I don't know if that happened or not, but the smoke is showing me it's leaning towards that direction.
Because athletes, now that I'm, when you talk about like powerful men, whether you're an athlete, entertainer, things of that nature, the way that they came up, the way that their brains are wired after years of being appeased, like people don't say no to them. And so they don't hear that word. Like you could say no, but it's almost like literally I don't even hear it.
Yeah,
and I believe that's the psyche of a powerful man, athlete, entertainer, whatever the case.
Billionaire.
Yeah.
What you're not told no very often. You probably hear no as I can turn that into a yes.
Yes. Yeah. Or just don't hear it at all.
Yeah.
And so I believe she may have said that. And I mean, my dick is already hard. At that point, as a man, you don't even think straight. Right?
Yeah.
Take away the status, the entertainer, your penis is hard. You're not even thinking clearly at that point.
Yeah.
So
post-nut clarity, they call it right afterward. Yeah.
I do believe her in that sense. And I mean, I mean,
not great, Shannon. Learn from it. Like I said, learn from it. Learn how to handle yourselves. Learn the image that you put out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like at a certain age, maybe you should not want to put out I'm a which is funny because that says DJ Playboy behind me, but if y'all know me, I'm a family man. You know what I'm saying? Spec came here, I'm surrounded by my family. Like that's just how that's my DJ name, but that ain't how my Instagram don't look like no damn put it like that. So you know what I'm saying? Like but that was a name I made up when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? And it's like but I'm not gonna like make that my lifestyle, and because that's not me. That's not even something that I at this point in my life I want. I don't even know how you juggle that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah.
But he probably lives like a bachelor at the end of the
100%,
day, and
yeah.
so that hey,
who's going through it too? Bill Belichick. He's got a younger lady, and for a couple months, people were just making jokes,
right?
And I think the girl was hearing the jokes, and she was handling it well for a couple months, but I think that she started to crack under the pressure a little bit. To now to the point where like they did a CBS interview, and she must have been such like a bitch or something like that for them to she interrupts the interview when he starts asking how they met, and she's like, we're not answering questions like that. And they said at some point she like stormed out. She thought Bill was gonna come chasing after her. He didn't, so she had to end up coming back in. And it's like that had come out then. HBO was going to give him a college version of Hard Knocks for UNC, which we know UNC for basketball. They do have some football news every now and again. Some players come out of it, but that's not really their thing. Right. So the fact that like NFL Films is going to give them like a Hard Knocks version for just UNC, it really was because of Bill Belichick. And
I don't understand the connection.
He's the coach of UNC.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got hired this past
okay,
off season or whatever. So yeah, because he went like a season or two after he left the Patriots, just like doing nothing,
on
and
TV.
then now he's at UNC.
Okay.
So he gets there. They was gonna give him a little show. She wants to be an executive producer. She wants what's known as daily. So basically, what they film daily, she wants to get that so she can approve it or disapprove it. And they like, who the fuck are you? Like, no, like they scrapped the whole project. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's losing him a lot of like shit left and right. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just looking.
His agent or some shit.
She's trying to be his publicist.
Okay.
But she's not professional like a publicist. You know what I'm saying? So it's looking, and it's also your girlfriend who's a lot younger than you, who didn't go to school to be a publicist or whatever the case may be. So it's like, it's just looking crazy out there. And it's like you tarnishing your legacy a little bit. And it's like, yeah, these and like it's good, not age shaming, this isn't a new concept. But it's also like you got to know the people you picking, you know what I'm saying? And like there are a lot of these girls probably around the same age who know how to be to the side. And every once in a while, yeah, the age gonna come out, they're gonna act a little out of pocket. And in the case of a Bill Belichick, in the case of a Shannon Sharpe, if they know you got shit to lose, not that Bill Belichick's chick is mad at them, but you know what I mean, or a woman scored in Shannon's situation, or even just a woman that you with, she having a tantrum right now. You know what I'm saying? Shannon's girl is like, yo, you did me dirty. Like we got, you know what I mean? Now you got to pay up, and I'm gonna wait till I hurt you the most. That's you, but y'all should have known this by this point in y'all lives.
Listen, I think the lesson to take away from all of this, to all you powerful men out there, we are in different times. You need to watch out. Like women are not powerless anymore. That's the thing. Like women have a voice. You don't treat them right nowadays, it can be a problem for you. Period. And that's you know, you guys shaping up.
Yep, that's the best advice.
Like men, you know, you can still act like men. I mean, what does that look like? I don't know, but you can't do all the things that you used to get away with and think it's gonna be sweet at this point in time.
That was I was kind of happy for the Me Too era. Not well, I guess because I didn't get in trouble during it. I'm so people that would have got in trouble during it look at it differently. But like, I think a lot of dudes, and maybe I'm being too honest in this moment, but I can admit it. A lot of dudes were like, "Oh, I didn't know I couldn't do that."
Right.
Yeah. And I think like
that whole no conversation, like growing up, no just meant like keep trying. It doesn't really mean no. Just try harder. And
but I think what got us was they made up a catchphrase during our era. The no means no. I don't think that existed before us.
Yeah, you mean like
kind of like
the newer era made no means no.
But we were kids. I think we weren't full adults when we first heard no means no. We were like kids, I think, at the time.
We were kids.
Yeah, so that concept, I think, a little with me was like, this shit got a catchphrase? Like, it might be serious, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I still never really took it that serious. I mean,
but I seen, like, Tupac, Mike Tyson, like, that was my Me Too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, maybe no doesn't mean no. Because it was like, don't do drugs. It's a corny statement, but then you start seeing people die from, you know what I mean? It was the dude that got drafted by the Celtics, and then he had the cocaine overdose.
Len Bias.
Yeah. You start seeing stuff like that. You're like, oh, all right, maybe it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe the catchphrase, all right, don't do drugs. Like, crack is whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that for me, once I saw the catchphrase and then real life examples, and not saying that they did or didn't, but they went down for it. They got in trouble for it.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, yeah, let me chill out. And then my dad was always that guy that was like, yo, I don't know, if maybe life experiences and stuff that he's been through. He was like, yo, if you were with a group of dudes and there's like one chick and it's starting to get like weird, like, you know, she don't want to be there, but they not like, he's like, honestly, the best thing you could do is remove yourself from the situation. He's like, if you could help her out, get her out of there. But he's like, the best thing you need to do is be somewhere else that's so people know you wasn't around. That type of vibe. Like, even like he's like, also catch on to it early. Right. See that, you know what I mean? Don't get caught up in like, because I tell my kid now, somebody might be like, oh, such and such was talking, or such and such took the thing over there, and it's like, if you're in that group and if you're a part of such and such, whether you did it or not, you going down with it. Yeah. And my dad was always like big on pushing that, so it wasn't even as more. And I also got moms, I got a sister, so it was like not only just respect for females, but it was like, oh, it could be, oh, they could flip it on you. You know what I mean? Like, all right, let me not. And with that being said, I was a wild boy still. As a kid, you met me as a wild boy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it just took a little bit of like the grace of God to not get caught up and then also be like, oh, that could have went left. Looking back and reflecting, that could have went left. And you see other people still going down, and it's like, all right, yeah. You know what I mean? Bill Cosby to this might not think he did nothing wrong. Right. Like I just think it's like the coach Donald Trump didn't think he did nothing wrong with he was talking about
culture. I mean, Quaaludes, that was culture. Yeah. I mean, that was, Donald Trump talking about just walking up and grabbing it, like culture. I mean, girls let dudes get away with that now. I mean, if you powerful enough, but that's not right.
But it's not. But I think the way to think is not all girls.
Right, true. Yes,
not all girls. It's just like we can't put everybody unless everything. Some girls will.
Yes.
And they might even be down for it. Some girls might be offended by it and still not say nothing. Because they just like, oh, damn, did that really just happen? And some girls are going to make sure the world about to know what you just did. Right. And that's how you got to kind of like, I don't know, I can't tell which from which, so. What's good, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy, and I'm here with my guy Spec, and we representing for the Perfect Talk podcast.
Make sure y'all like and subscribe, people.
And of course, hop in the comments, let us know what you thinking. And go check out the website, www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. All the episodes right there.
Yes, sir.